Hey everybody, it's Alison Solomon with Stamp Crazy with Alison, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in New Westminster, British Columbia, which is on the west coast of Canada, just kind of a suburb of Vancouver. So, welcome to my recorded message today. I am in Houston, Texas today while this is playing for you, so it's not live, but it's a recording that I wanted to do in place of my live today since I won't be around. So today we're going to use the Little Latte Suite Collection. I want to talk to you about my upcoming class on April the 6th. It is filling fast. I think I have 2 kits left. If you want to join, I would encourage you to join ASAP so that you'll get your products in time for our class. So let's go over here and I will just show you what we're going to be playing with today and what the class is all about. So the class is using the Latte Love stamps and the Latte Love dies, which are fantastic. It's going to come with 8 cards. You're going to get 4 designs, 2 of each. You're going to get half a roll of the polka dot ribbon or the trim. You're going to get a full package of these fantastic embellishments. Look at these. Adhesive-Backed Swirl Dots. Now these are sold out, but I've got 2 for class, so that's another reason to sign up. You're also going to get a half a package of the fantastic A Little Latte Designer Series paper. It will be cut 6 by 12 just because that's the way it has to mail in Canada. Okay, so look at all these fabulous designs. Let me spread this out for you. So pretty. Look at that. Okay, so this is the whole half a pack. Now, if you purchase the Latte Love Bundle and use my host code, you will get a full package of the Designer Series paper as a bonus. If you purchase the entire suite of product, you will get your class for free. So you'll get the card kit sent to you for free, which is a $45 value. We're going to gather together on April the 6th at 10 a.m. on a Facebook group. And we're going to craft together, but you'll have access to the recordings later, so you can always rewatch. Okay, so let's start our card today. I'm actually going to be casing a card from one of the Stampin' Up! Artists. I've got a piece of basic white, and I've got a piece of Calypso Coral. I'm going to glue the Calypso Coral, which is 5.5 by 4 1/4 to the front of the card, just like that. I've gone and cut a piece of the Designer Series paper. Now it is cut to 4 1/4 by 5.5, and we can go ahead and glue that down. Okay, here we go. I love casing because if you're ever stuck, then you can just look at a card and go, oh, I could make that one. Keeps it easier. Now we got a bunch of die cutting to do. So check this out. These are all the dies that we're going to be using, which is pretty much all of the dies. I've got a piece of smoky slate here. I'm going to cut the French press out of it. Now I do use repositionable tape just to hold everything in place as I'm running it through. I've also got the handle for the coffee pot, also of smoky slate. I have got the lid for the coffee pot, and I'm just going to trim this down. The pecan pie, okay. I've got, let's see here, what else have I got here? I've got a piece of early espresso, and I'm going to cut the coffee pieces for both the urn and the French press out of that. And I have got the actual coffee glass. I'm going to use vellum for this. So that's the French press. And then I've also got the coffee pot. So I'm going to cut both of those out of vellum, just so that gives the impression that it's glass. Okay. Then I've got a piece of the designer series paper with the coffee beans, and the coffee bean die actually lines up with the coffee beans, which is so cute. So I'm going to put that one on there. And for sure, I'm going to need some repositionable tape. This is just so that as I'm running it through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss, it doesn't shift. I'm just going to stick that down, and then I've got another one. Stampin' Up! Sometimes gives us 2 of each die, and in this case we've got 2 of the coffee beans, so we might as well run those through at the same time. Okay, so that's a bunch of cutting I've got to do. I'm also going to stamp the mug, this one here, in gray granite. So let's stamp that. I'm stamping in the gray granite because I don't want it to be as stark as if I'd stamped it in black. Okay, then I'm going to stamp the coffee in pecan pie, and it's going to go inside the coffee mug, just like that. I'm going to color it with Stampin' Write markers. So I've got a bunch here. I'm not sure I'm going to use them all, but I've got light Calypso Coral, I've got light petal pink, and then I've got dark petal pink. I'm going to take the Calypso and I'm going to just give it some color along these already established little highlight lines that the artist has included in the drawing. So it makes it easy if you're going to color. Going to go over the whole thing with a light petal pink. This is one of the colors that's in that designer series paper that I selected. I'm just going over it, blending it, but we can still see that darker Calypso. Okay, there we go. And then I'm going to just go in with the dark petal pink. Now I'm not going to add too much. I'm just going to kind of add a little bit of highlight just over that Calypso, just blending it in a bit, just so it's not quite as harsh. But we're going to get some of the shadows. There's really no right or wrong when you're coloring. Just have fun. Just have lots of fun and don't worry too much if it's not perfect. Okay, I kind of like that. Let me hold that up for you. Okay, so now we're going to take the mug die and we're going to cut that out. Okay. All right, so I want to cut as many pieces as I can. So I'm going to grab my platform for my Stampin' Cut and Emboss. So platform number 1, you can see the number up here. And then we've got platform number 2, which you have to use when you're using the dies. And then we've got clear plate number 3. And I'm just going to lay these on. I'm going to probably have to do 2 passes, one with each grouping here because we've got too many to do them all at once. There we go. So I'm going to just put that clear plate on top. I'm going to go over to my Stampin' Cut and Emboss, and you can probably hear me running it through. And here we go. And then I can just take all of these off for now. We'll pop them out in a minute when I've got the other ones done. Just going to pile these up. All right, and then we can do the next grouping. Okay. That should be all we need to do for specific die cuts. Okay. go. All right, so next up, I want to start assembling my pieces. So we're going to poke all of these out of the dies. And I love this French press. It's so fun. We've never had one before. We've had coffee sets before, but we've never had a, here we go, a little French press. So cute. And then this is going to be the handle for the coffee urn. And then we've got the top for the coffee pot. And then we've got the coffee for the coffee pot and for the French press. Oops, go. So we're just mimicking coffee there inside the urns. Then we've got the glass part of our coffee pot. This always reminds me of a Melita pot. Remember those? Yeah. And then we've got our glass for our French press, again out of the vellum. And so many pieces. And we've got our mug that cut out perfectly. So cool. And then we've got our coffee beans right out of our designer series paper. Now you can also stamp these and cut them out. That works too. Right. Okay, I think we've got them all. Just don't want to lose my dies. So I'm going to make sure I collect all that up. All right. So now I've got a piece of basic white. And let's see, make sure that's open correct. It's going to be here, like so. It's cut 4 1/4 by 3 3/4. So let's assemble this. We've got our coffee that's going to go on the bottom of our vellum glass, kind of our faux looking glass here. So there we go. And then I want to, there we go. I want to position this. I'm going to just put a little bit of glue on the back behind the early espresso so that you can't see it. Because otherwise, if you stick glue on the vellum, you'll end up being able to see it. So I just have to position this roughly where I'm going to put that. So there we go. Now I can put glue on my French press. So on the top, just along here, and just ever so slightly up the sides here. Just a little bit of glue, not too much. And then it's just a question of lining this up. Now I look at that spout, and that's kind of where I figure it's going to go. And then we can go ahead and glue that down, hold that into place. Okay, so that's our French press. Then we've got our coffee pot. So we can put that here, some coffee in our pot. And again, I'm going to put some glue behind just the early espresso. And I can glue that down. Okay. Then we've got to have our handle. So again, we can just put some glue just along here. And I want that to be just below my little spout there. That's good. And then our lid, which was pecan pie. There we go. Right. Now we're going to take our mug and we're going to pop it up with some dimensionals. Okay. Go, just like that. And then we've got our coffee beans. I'll just put some there. And we'll just put a little grouping of them here. There we go. I think that looks good, just beside the coffee mug. Okay, there we go. Now we got a whole little montage of coffee. Then we're going to glue this down to our card. There we go. All right, now we need a saying. So I've got some lemon lolly, and I've got you're the best part of my day, and I've got early espresso. So let's stamp that. Actually, that's not straight, so that's going to drive me nuts. So I'm going to turn it over and straighten that up. There we go. You're the best part of my day. Now for this, I've got a little trick to show you. So we're just going to move all of this out of the way because I want to bring in my little mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss. This one, I've selected a die from the Nest of Essentials. So all these pretty dies. I've selected this one here, which is like a little banner. Okay, but it's too big for the words, or at least in my mind it is. So I'm going to position it. Just let me get some tape here because you really want your tape for this one. So I'm going to position it where I would envision the top to be. Okay, so we're going to run this through our mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss. Here we go. Run that through. Okay. I'm going to need my machine again, so I'm not going to put it away. Okay, so here's our piece. And pop that out. All right. Now, this is too big for what I want. I don't want it that big. So I'm going to take my die and I'm going to move it down to where I think I would like my top to be. So I think I'm going to do it like that. And you can feel the die lining back in with those little stitch lines. It's sort of like it catches it. Okay, so when you feel it catch, you're good, and you can tape it down. And then you're just going to run it through again. And you're going to end up with a smaller size banner, which is going to be much better for the sentiment and for the card. So I'll show you. So here we go, right? And we're just going to look at this. Look at that. It's just made a smaller banner. So cute. Okay. Get all that out of the way. Next, we're going to take our sentiment, which we want to have up here. But the artist also used a bit of the trim. Now, let's just cut a piece off. We don't want to double this up. It's a bit thick. So they kind of just did this. But I think that's going to be not what I want at all. No, I don't like it. So let's try something else. Let's take a piece of this trim. Let's cut off the edge. There we go. Let's pull some of these fibers, because if you cut off the selvage edge here, you're going to end up with being able to disassemble this. Okay. And I love the way that some of the strands keep the polka dot on it. It's so cute. Okay. Now, if I fold this, I think that might not quite be as bulky. And I think I like that better. Yeah, I like that better. Okay. Make sure I got that. Yeah, I think I like that better. So I'm going to just grab some tape. And you can hopefully see that. I'm just tape that there. And then let's pop that up. But not with minis. Let's do some regular size dimensionals here. Okay. almost done. Okay, best part of my day is you. So that goes a little bit into the coffee pot, but I don't think that matters. Okay, so there's our card. Just a case from Stampin' Up's wonderful artists. Let me remind you of some of the other cards that I've made. This one here was a treat card. You can find all these videos on my YouTube channel or in my Facebook page. Stamp Crazy with Alison. Here's another one. Fun. Here's one I just did the other day, which is a fun fold. And then here's another one, which is I guess a buckle card, I would call it. And then lastly, we've got a faux step card I got in a swap, which is really cute. Okay, so that's our card for today. I'm going to, whoops, maybe put that down like so. Now I'm going to come back and just say goodbye. So thank you so much for watching today. I know I'm not live, but hopefully this worked and you could see it. Please leave a comment because I will see those even though I'm not here live with you. Okay, so thanks so much for joining me today. I did miss doing a live with you, but I'll see you soon. Thanks so much. Happy stamping.